Hi, another episode. I am your host, Emperor, and today we're going to be doing another video. So, basically, I kind of been like, well, you know, been like scrolling through some stuff and some videos and some good old stuff. I kind of realized that, that my carrier builds kind of need to be updated a little bit, because what I have been doing was I have been tweaking with them for the past few, months. I really don't know how long it's been since I posted that that last video, which I have a feeling it was like some months ago this year. But I thought I would actually make an update about it with the Temp Valkis Warbird, which is my flagship. Yeah, I kind of thought I would make a build of this. Now, of course, this is pretty much just in terms of survivability, and also for that 3-piece as well, because I have a high hull capacity, so would pretty much make sense. Would put the I do have it right now. I would put the protomatter deflector for the crit chance and crit severity, and I would pretty much replace this with the discovery core. But of course, the reason why I picked the temporal defense regenerative shield is because I'm in one of those TFOs where my shields can pretty much crack a little bit. So for as long as English. So when the shields drop, as the shields drop, of course the regeneration increases. Now if they're fully at 0, of course I'll have 100% increase of shield regeneration. So that's the reason why it's there. Versus the discovery shield, where I would have to, of course I would have to do like, I have to put a lot of regen on it instead of the capacity, because capacity is small. If that makes any sense to anyone who pretty much even watches builds anyways. So, of course, the reason why you would have that shield is because it does damage to shields. And that's kind of a good thing, because, you know, if you break the shield, then, yeah, that's all good and dandy. But, of course, I have a lot of damage debuffs, so I will really have little to worry about in terms of shields. So I don't really care if that makes any sense. But anyway, we're moving on. So pretty much we're just gonna start with the temporal defense. Shield, the non-bionic, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it, discovery warp core. So the disco warp core, the reason why I have it is because the hull capacity and the shield capacity, as well as the shield restoration, and the literal a massive amount of torpedo damage resistance. Now I know there are tons of I know there are like not many mobs that can fire torpedoes or even get the chance to, because you know they'll be dead before they can do that. But there are those scenarios where if they get the chance to, it's gonna hurt pretty bad, and it's gonna hurt really badly. So, of course, I pretty much always tend to come prepared in case that happens. And the reason why I have the torpedo damage resistance, the torp damage resistance, is because there are TFOs like Into the Hive, for example, where you know you charge into a bunch of an armada worth of Borg vessels, and they have you in the tractor beam, and then they start firing plasma torpedoes at you. Once they held you in a tractor beam, it's over. Might as well just call it quits, call the white flag. Some probably might struggle a little bit, like a bird trying to get out of a cage, or a bird trying to get out of a hand hold or whatever, something like that. Basically, in one of the scenarios where if you're in a tractor beam, it's over. You're done. Finished. Finito. Done. So, of course, throw massive amounts of torpedoes at you, and once that happens, then you're dead. You're dead. You can even realize what's in. And because the reason I have this also here, the Discovery Impulse engine thing, the reason why I have it there instead of the competitive impulse engines is because I know, I get it, it's a chunky ship, slow to turn, but I'm flying a lazy boat. I'm 95% stationary in my TFOs anyway, and if I have to move, then of course I have well, and pretty much I have the trait thirst for stationary border, which gives me a lot of maneuverability. So pretty much it makes up for that loss. So if that's pretty much a good reason why I have it. And the reason why I have this is because of the 3-piece set. And I'm always stationary, as I said, because of Battle Sentry mode. And the next one is the Masculinum Harmonic Singularity Core, which is pretty much a survivability core. I would replace this with a Tholium core for the warp crystals, pretty much make a little minefield. Now, the reason why I would do that is because, once again, the 3-piece, but this also has a very good high hull capacity and stuff like that. And I would use the fleet core, but I'm not buying it yet. I'm not buying that yet. I don't think it's worth my time. I don't think it's worth it for me. So, of course, the next thing we're gonna have is the hangars, which is the rare. Told you. Now you're probably even wondering why the even absolute living shit of a fuck do I have this here? And I'm gonna tell you, hold your horses before you even go anywhere else. I'm gonna tell you, hold your horses. The reason why I have this there is because it has the pulse cannons. And the pulse cannons under Superior Aero Denial, aka SAD, which comes off the Mirror Angle Strike Wing Escort, which you can easily get for a bundle. This does insane amounts of damage. Like, I can pretty much spawn camp people with this stuff, and I can pretty much annihilate anything I want to with this stuff. Which the reason why I'm in this example of what I mean. Of that, 2 hangar bays worth of them, and you know it's gonna be it's gonna be. And for the consoles, I'm decked out with these hangar craft power transmissions, and of course some of them have damage resistance. At least 3 of them do, and 3 of them have disruptive damage. I know one of them has cannon damage, and that's because I don't have enough dilithium to re-roll the same thing. I don't get that type of luxury or that type of time to do those things. I just don't have that kind of time. So I'm pretty 6 of these. Casual SAB, which you can go check out his channel, by the way. It's literally 6 Casual SAB. Don't get me wrong, I'm not lying to you. According to him, it takes approximately 6 of these to double the damage of your pets entirely. I waited for the X2 stuff to come out with the Star Trek Incursion, Borg, blah blah blah, so on so on. I waited for the X2 to upgrade the ship primarily because of the drone ships that it carries. And ever since then, I decked out with these, and I pretty much have been going to town with them. And since then, I could say the only person that can kill me is me. Because I mean, I posted it on my story that my VAQ Warhead module systems pretty much killed me and the Scimitar Warbird at the same time, because I got way too close. Like, I'm talking about like in personal space type of close, and I killed myself with this stuff. So that's the only reason why I could possibly die is killing myself. No, I'm not suicidal. Anyways, the next console I'm going to be talking about is the Swarmer Matrix and the Harmonic Yield Distribution via Radial Aperture, also they call it the Hydra console. The Swarmer Matrix comes off an Infinity Lockbox, and the Hydra console comes off the Terran Hydra Intel Destroyer, which you can get it in a 13 bundle, which you probably won't even get because you don't want to spend your money on some useless garbage. But at least buy the ship itself, because, you know, it's a $30 ship. It's not really going to kill you. It probably will, because you don't have any hangar pets or you just want to buy it just for the Hydra itself. I don't know. I'm not you. The reason why I have these is because of the 30% flight speed, the turn speed, flight speed, and damage to all hangar pets and targetable which also involves these. No, I'm just kidding. They don't involve these. Because, you know, they're not targetable, that's why. So, pretty much for all your targetable torpedoes and your hangar pets. And also this increases cannon weapon damage. And it says projectile weapon training, so projectile weapon damage. So, these are pretty good, and they also stack. So that means you'll have like 60% damage, if that math is correct. And this is also my favorite console. I had to make the sacrifice and swap it out for that. If there was an X times 3, I would pretty much equip this with it, because this thing is so good. But living without this is pretty much just like living without a pair of limbs, or living without a liver. You'll collapse soon enough. So what this does, and why it's my lifeline, it pretty much puts an area of effect debuff around the target. Pretty much, I think it's a 3, which it pretty much says on the screen anyway. It is a 41.3% damage resistance rating, and it reveals cloaked ships, which is all that useless. And you know, it kind of does some damage on the side for that matter. But it's the damage resistance that it does, and it actually is pretty good. And it knocks the shields offline for 3.6 seconds. Now, 3.6 seconds feels like 5 to 10 seconds. Like in my real time. In like real time, it feels like 5 to 10 seconds in real time. So that's pretty much the only reason why I would pretty much use this console, is because I have the Maelstrom Quantum Torpedo, and once the shields are offline, it's game over, man. It's a wrap. So the next one I have is the oh, and also this comes off the Bozeman into Heavy Frigate, in case you want to know. So the next one is the VAQ Warhead Multiple Launch System, which comes off the Texas, and this one this one is powerful, and it pretty much just spreads. It launches salvos of torpedoes. It builds up the damage over time, and it builds up after 12 charges. In one push of a button, you pretty much release all those charges, depending on wherever you want to release them to. I tend to just go in the middle and just spread them everywhere like a base of bread and butter. That's pretty much just what I would do. Or if there were like a big boss target, I would pretty much just fire all of those at that one target. That's what I would do. But of course, I will pretty much say this as a warning that I could even give you. Do not, and I repeat this with everything in my body, heart, and soul to you. You know, if you ever even get this, if you ever even think to get the ship, don't you ever go near this thing when you fire it. Because when you do, you will kill yourself, you will kill your enemy, you will kill your family, friends, you will kill them all. You will get killed by your own weapon. You'll pretty much feel like Oceanic Krennic by the time you're done with yourself. Pretty much just blow the Death Star at your own self. It's kind of stupid. Well, I mean, the other guy did it, but you know what I'm talking about. Destroyed by your own creation. Duh. The next one is a must-have for all carriers. It is Sensor Suspension Burst, which it gives 20% crit chance, and you know, it gives some. I think it gives crit severity. No, it doesn't. It does give a chance, but the crit severity is already high anyway, enough to insta-kill anything for your pets. If you have superior area denial, and if you have like frigate pets, yeah, it pretty much does the same. So that's the reason why you should have it. And your Hangar pets barely do criticals. Like, sure, damage-wise and all that stuff, it's pretty good, but you need the criticals, if that makes any sense. And you can get off the Alliance. I think you can get off the Alliance bundle. No, I think it's gone. I don't know. But there was a mud sale going on with the Kittimer Alliance bundle, which of course you get the Jurok, the Kittimer, and the Timur, Alliance ships, all 3 Alliance ships, for an insane whopping price that is unbelievable. But at the same time, at least you get this console, so that's a good thing. And also their account-wide unlock. So yeah, that's a plus. That's literally a plus. If that's not even making any sense. This came off the this comes off the Jurok carrier. This was once an anniversary ship, and you know that event is over. That's the only way to get it. And the next one is the Immolating Phasers Lance off the Deimos Pilot Destroyer. I do not have the that board cutting beam console, because that would actually be a little bit useful, but with the stuff that I have on my ship, I don't think it's. I just use it as a splash console, because I can't really find anything else to like use on a repeated basis, if that makes any sense. So of course, this isn't the best, this isn't the highest end damaging console in the game, absolutely not, but you know, it pretty much gets the job done, if that makes any sense. It gets the job done. So pretty much it's just a splash weapon. And the main reason why I'm using this thing is Battle Sentry mode. Well, I mean, there's another reason, but we'll get to that later. Battle Sentry mode calls off the Battle Sentry ship. The reason why I got it is because of Sentry mode, the lazy boat stuff, and that's the reason why I'm even making this build. And if you guys even wondering what these devices are, not important. For the weapons on the forward side, the Maelstrom Quantum Torpedo, the highest DPS torpedo in the game, it's I'm not going to say it's a must-have, because it doesn't require you to get the bundle to get it, and that's pretty stupid if that's the first thing you're going to do when you start out the game. That's fucking dumb, because you don't even know if you're even going to play the game. The next thing is pretty much Coalition Disruptors, gives some negative... I think it's negative disruptor damage resistance rating. It's up to 5 times, so that's the reason why I get it. Also, it's blue. The next one is also the highest weapon, the highest damaging weapon in the game, which is the Task Force Dual Disruptor Heavy Cannons. Without these with like spiral waves and the Coalition Disruptors, so it's pretty much like a blue mix of blue and orange. Because the spiral waves are pretty much the highest disruptor, the second highest disruptor weapons in the game, and these are always third, but the debuff is nice. Now, in case you're wondering, Red Matter from the Phoenix Store, Subspace Field Modulator from a mission I forgot, has something to do with Ghost, and Temporal Negotiator from the Delta Recruit. You'll pretty much be able to get that next year if you even have the time to even find all the Iconian stuff. I think we already been through all this stuff. And don't use repair mode when you this ship, because it is the most useless thing to ever have, because imagine being disabled just by getting hit by a single photon torpedo. Yeah, you'd be pretty mad that you can't move for 5 seconds because you got hit with a single frickin' torpedo. Yeah, that's pretty... just no. Anyways, the reason why I have Commander Crash Speed is because she has Best Served Cold, and she seems to be the only goddamn officer who has it. I pretty much have Tag Parent Beta for the resistance debuff. Emergency Power to Shields, that comes off of her. And pretty much the shield stuff is to block out the shield drain from the Borg. And, you know, basically to keep my shields up to protect my hull from receiving any damage, despite the fact that it's kind of inevitable with these mirror Borg anyway. Cannon Scouter Volley because I run cannons. Chemosite Lace Weaponry because I run a Maelstrom Torpedo, even though it would be the Dark Matter Run Torpedo that this thing would pretty much do the most DPS out of. Torch Bed because I own the Maelstrom. Emergency Power to Weapons because of the traits I will show you in a second. And these 3 are my unconventional systems. I would pick 4, but you know, I don't really know which other 4 I can pick. And also, this is kind of a healing bonus hit points buff, so that way any explosion on me can not hit me. No, thank you. I mean, it's optional if the situation dires for it. So that's the only reason why. But anyway, moving on. So chronometric inversion field, scramble sensors, and tractor beam. Those are the 3 unconventional systems. The unconventional systems traits pretty much is the reason why I'm using this ship, and the reason why all these are able to cool down much faster. And I just have the Borg shield, in case you ever care. For the specializations, I'm using Miracle Worker and Commando. Now, before you even come to even knock at my door and beat my ass, I'm gonna probably just say this right off the bat. I have Commando because I mostly operate on the ground any freaking way, and I have a kit cooldown performance build, so that's the only reason why I'm doing it. I'm not a space junkie like you people. And if you are a space junkie, intelligence and temporal operative. Sorry, back to skill. So, of course, that's ground traits. Oops. So, starship traits, emergency wreckage cycle. You can pretty much get this off any other ship that, like, this thing is so much, it's so free. There's no excuse not to have it. There's really no excuse not to have it. Like, the Klingon recruit is coming back next year. There's no excuse to have this. Anyways, so emergency powered weapons, it pretty much gives a 50% reduction cost for 30 seconds and 5 cycle haste. That's to keep your weapons firing much faster, if in case you don't know what that is. The weapons power cost is to make sure that you keep firing your weapons, if that makes any sense. Weapons off the Avenger, I mean not the Avenger, the Legendary Avenger / the Inquiry Battlecruiser, emergency powered to give you secondary shields for 30 seconds, and 8.5% 5 cycle haste for 30 seconds. The Strike Crew Command Authority off the, the Hydra. Of course, because I'm using fighters, 30% bonus damage, and because I flip-flop between 2 modes, I also use a Romulan drone ship, so that's a frigate, so that does 40% bonus damage. Withering Barrage, that comes off every single goddamn ship that you could even think of. I don't even care what you think of. And one of the examples is the that new bird of prey. If you're on the Klingon side, just kill your captain, interrogate some, and you'll be able to get the ship. And you'll be able to have it on your whole account. Hive Barrier, because I want more fighter pets. I want to spawn more pets. And this comes off the Herc Multi-Mission Science Vessel. Yeah, it's a Herc Multi-Mission Science Vessel. That's something you can get. Or get the line of the Legendary Avenger, Miracle Worker Battlecruiser on emergency power. Any emergency power ability grants you 20% crit severity for 30 seconds. This bonus can stack up to additional 10 per stack. I think it can stack up to 4 times. So you're probably looking at like 50% crit severity, which is pretty good. Because, you know, crit severity means, like, critical damage. That's what the meaning is. Like, crit severity is critical damage. So, the higher critical damage, the more insta shots you can do. Repair air denial, the reason why I'm using this entire ship for this reason, and the reason why I'm using carriers in general, like I'm some Japanese samurai pieces of shit, it gives a negative 30% all damage resistance rating for 5 seconds, and your pets will get Scatter Volley 1 and Fire at Will 1. I would use the Alliance, Elite Alliance pets, but the Toju fighters do a lot more damage according to Reddit, and people actually ran the numbers. So I can't believe a blue pet actually beats an elite pet. Kind of sad. Space reputation, crit severity and crit chance based on your hull capacity. Bonus weapon damage this is basically from the Gamma Rep. Bonus weapon damage. Bonus energy weapon and projectile damage against controlled targets. I always use those. Arium's efficiency, damage over time, and area of effect, damage resistance. And velocity. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Basically, I think it's velocity from the competitive rep. You get physical damage resistance and kinetic damage resistance. Now, I'm not gonna, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to anyway. Good Day to Die, that's to pretty much lift the restrictions off Go Down Fighting. Independent Wingmate for one of your pets gaining 200% bonus all damage, whoever's the lucky winner. Superior Taché, pretty much the whole regeneration and damage control, you know, regeneration, stuff like that. But Boimler effect, cooldown off unconventional systems. The reason why I'm using the ship is because the cooldowns of my universal consoles. Turning targeting systems for the crit severity. And I don't have to worry about slowing down because apparently that's what my whole ship does anyways. Adaptive defense for the 40% crit, damage resistance to keep my ship alive. Wing commander to rank up all my pets before the TFO is over. Superior cannon training, you can get that off the Deep Space K-13, so join a fleet that it doesn't involve a leader being a dick. And Hive defense to summon more Herc swarmers, that comes off the lockbox itself. Now, most of this stuff is lockbox stuff. And in fact, I think all these items are lockbox stuff. This is pretty much low buy. This is the only low buy item that you have to get off the low buy store. Everything else is whatchamacallit, off a lockbox. I'm not gonna go over ground skills because that's not what we're doing today. So we're going to go ahead and do a test run of this of these builds. Oh, I forgot to put out the my duty officers. Most of these are flight deck officers. So I pretty much have all these as flight deck officers. This is to my tactical and temporal, pretty much like intertwined tactical matrices off the Hangar. You just basically flip flop between the two. This guy's here so that way my I think it's my cannon rapid fire or cannon scatter volley or fire to turn into a 3 instead of a 2, which means I get to shoot up to more targets. And this guy, he's basically a con officer, so I can do this. Wait for it. You use this. There you go. And it's all the way back up again. So that's pretty much my roster. That's the only reason why I have those. So we're gonna go ahead and test those and stay tuned. Also let you know I kind of went all the way back here anyway, just so. Sorry, not sorry. It's gonna take a little bit to get back here.
Looks like
good. The Carter is ready to assist you.
Lead the way, and the Shurgat will follow. Reading a single Ferengi vessel, Marauder class. They've decloaked.
Pick up on their ship.
well, there's good news and bad news.
Ah. You treacherous bitch! You'll get first by the minute.
Did the Valkyrie captain sound cheerful there?
That nerd.
Okay, so we're gonna have to run a different one, pretty much, because I don't know why, if it's either speed running it or not speed running it. Basically, I really don't know what's going on with it in terms of the mission even continuing, so we're pretty much just gonna try something else. Yeah, we're just gonna try something else.
you for the bless.
That's one less rift to worry about. Let's regroup and market.
Bad news, I'm afraid. Klingons are approaching our position.
Okay, y'all, so...
I think that...
Oops, sorry. Okay, y'all, so I think that concludes today's, video, pretty much. So if you guys want to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, that'll be pretty nice, because, you know, pretty much it's YouTube. And I think I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.